Hello and welcome, my name is Rohit, and I know it's been a very long time since I've been in front of a camera, but today I thought I'll record a very quick video regarding a topic that is not only related to the DIY projects but also to my legal profession, and that is intellectual property counterfeiting. You see, last month I just received my case for my small form factor PC, and I'm in the process of modifying certain cutouts, dimensions, certain brackets for fitting a lot of components in together, which requires a little bit more of precision, for which I need a caliper, a verniers caliper to be more precise. I already owned a verniers caliper before this, a digital one, but when I took it out, I found it had just snapped into two. Now obviously this is a very cheap, poorly made verniers caliper that I got it from some of the online shop, and I knew it's going to break down, but I didn't realize it will break down into two. Hence, so just like anyone, I went online to research which of the digital vernier caliper actually is good, and I found a Japanese brand called as Mitutoyo, which is considered to be a gold standard. I'm not an expert, I didn't know where to order this, so just like everyone else, I went online to find a bargain sale. Now I did get one online, this one, and this, believe it or not, is a fake. What I realized was that when this was being shipped, I initially bought it on the 9th, it got shipped out on the 10th. It had already reached one of the logistical hubs near me on the 11th, but they delayed the delivery by a couple of days. So on the 15th, that is day before yesterday, I finally got it in my hand in the afternoon, only with the condition that the seller required me to open the box and accept the product with no returns. So that was a bit suspicious, so I dug around and found out that not only was the caliper not working, the battery was wrong and it was a bit puffed up, and I felt that something was really off. Now I didn't know better, so I went online to check whether there were any ways to figure out if it was a fake, and there were a couple of videos that I found which I'll link in the description, but it turns out that it indeed was a fake. Now the return policy was a bit fishy, but I attempted to return it on the 15th itself, and the return date that was given to me was on the 18th. Now today is the 17th. So what I did was, on the 15th night itself, I went online to Mitutoyo's website, the official one, and I tried to find the authentic authorized dealers for their tools. And to my surprise, I found quite a lot of them within the area that I live, probably 1 or 2 hours drive away. So immediately the next day, that is 16th of June, I contacted one of the dealers and I requested them if I could get my hands on the original one on the same day, that is on the 16th, so that I can do a comparison between the two. So I went to the dealer, I got it, and now I have both of them side by side to show you what are the differences. So let's take a closer look and let me clear the table to show you those differences. Alright, as you can see, this is the previous one. It's literally broken into two, as you can see. I have no idea why it is called stainless and then it has hardened but no steel. So yeah, anyway, this has to be thrown away, disposed of. Now this is the one that is the fake, and let me see if I have space. This is the original one. Okay, now, as you can see, the covers are completely different. I assume that at some point in time the covers were changed by the company, or the person, the company who is making the counterfeit thought that, okay, let's change it completely so that it feels real or original. But so the first thing you see is the logo, and over here it's not the size but it is the aspect ratio. So see how the O's are stretched out and here the O's are tighter, right? So that is one of the first giveaways. So the second thing is not the size of these stripes but the color. Here you see in the fake one it is black in color, and here in the original one it is gray. Now even the color orange, the so-called brand of the Mitutoyo company, has a very specific orange color. I'm not sure what is the Pantone code for this, but when I had gone to the authorized dealer's warehouse, I saw thousands of products from Mitutoyo all kept in the shelf and all had the same orange color. So their consistent branding, I've seen it with my own eyes. I couldn't take a video over there because it's not allowed, but I know for sure that this is the brand color that they are using. Right. Another thing what usually is said is regarding the logo, the design mark over here. Now it is a difficult task, but if you see that the logo over here is more prominent, it is slightly bigger and the lines have a thickness that is in conjunction to the branding, right? Also on the back side there isn't a lot. Here they say made in Japan, but they have again added something just to make it so that it feels that it is original. Maybe it is possible that it could have been an original, I don't know, but it definitely looks like it is original. Now I'll open the fake one's jacket off. You can see that this is the box that it comes in. Here I think this box could have been original, could have been. If it is not, it is a very good copy of it. If you see, one of the cheaper counterfeits do not have this kind of quality, but this apparently is a very, very high quality copy of this. Most of the cheaper counterfeits do not have the I don't know if you can see it in this light, it does not have the inscription, the embossing where it says it is PP, polypropylene and 4, and even the injection mold removal dimples are not clearly cut off. These are quite well made. So I believe that the boxes are of a higher quality of a counterfeit copy. But one of the telltale signs is that it does not have the letters made in Japan over here. Now I'll open the original box's paper jacket, and if you see, now here the counterfeit box is a bit shiny and the original box is a bit matte, and it says over here it is also polypropylene, but it has the number 7 signifying a higher quality of plastic, and of course it has the same injection mold removal dimple marks over here. But notice that this specifically mentions that this is made in Japan, right? So like I said, the box appears to be of a very high quality counterfeit. It will be very difficult to make apart from both of those, but there is a way. Now from what I have gathered, if you see, this is the side sticker and it says again made in Japan, and it has a barcode, and you feel that probably this is original. But the original one, of course, it also has the barcode, but in addition to the barcode, it has a clearly visible QR code on the original box. Now let me open the counterfeit one inside. Let's have a look. Another way to tell whether it is a counterfeit, especially on the cheaper counterfeit, is the even tabs that are on the lid side. If you can see, there are two longer even they are actually slightly uneven based on the counter height of the inner depressions inside. So the cheaper ones are of equal height, which is a telltale sign, but like I said, this box appears to be a very good quality copy. It has tried to closely replicate the original one. If you see, if I can place this side by side, I am now opening the original one, and you will see that the same, let me see if I can see this. Oh, nope. Yeah, see those tabs? So uneven tabs. So like I said, it's a very good copy of the box. Now inside you'll find paperwork, and you'll feel that it is probably original. Now one of the things that did catch my attention is that though it did say that the battery is from Mitutoyo and it had its serial number, I didn't find the battery. It was torn off, and instead the battery that was actually given with this was an LR battery, and it was actually one of the batteries that are used for these cheaper calipers. So even the person, I don't know who did this, probably it could be the seller on the e-commerce platform, probably it could be the logistics, because there was a delay that created that suspicion. But whoever did this didn't know that these low quality batteries, the LR, which is actually alkaline, now both say that they are 1.5 volts, but the amperage, the milliamperage is actually different. So this battery will never work even if the good quality copy is used. It will never work. It requires a silver oxide battery which has to be specifically SR44 SW or SR44W. We'll see that in just a short while. Anyway, so then it comes with some kind of a certificate, which is probably in Japanese. They have stapled it together, so you feel, oh okay, it's something, it's the warranty. And then there's a certificate of inspection signed by QC manager Igusa. So from all of this, it looks quite genuine, quite authentic, but unfortunately it is not. Then we have this paperwork that is supposedly the manual. Now the reason why I'm showing this side by side is because when you see this paperwork and that one, when you even hold the paper, there is a vast difference in the paper quality. This is quite thin, this is on a much thicker GSM quality, and it has the name of the QC manager Shinohara. I don't know who this is, but the printing and all of this is different. Then this is stapled over here, so this is the original one. Like I said, this is the original Mitutoyo battery, which says SR44 SW 1.55 volt, right? It even has the serial number for the battery. Then there is something called as the volatile corrosion inhibitor paper, the FerroBrite. Usually this is something that is always given with the original Mitutoyo tools. Then you have the warranty card. I'm not going to open this again, but again the paper quality and the printing quality is much better than that. And then of course this is the general warning sign that to wipe the caliper before use. And look at the quality of this paper, the manual paper. Let me open that up, and you see there's a color difference. Here it is all white, right? And here you see that it is white on gray. So it is actually dual tone or grayscale color. It's not just a single screen printed version. It is actually printed digitally quite well, and if you see the quality of print, you can easily make out that this is original higher quality print than this. Even the paper color is different. This looks like it's on a cheap paper color, which is gray white, and this is on a ivory white ish color, and it has far more details than this, of course. Let's keep the paper aside for now. I'll just fold it and keep it away. Now coming on to the actual caliper itself. Now when I received this, I found that this plastic was already torn, and this was another telltale sign that somebody had fidgeted with this caliper. And of course the battery was pre-installed. Here you saw in the original one the battery is not installed at all, which is a very big difference, and I'm told that only when you put the battery inside, that's when the caliper actually starts, and you need to do some extra action on it to get it working. But this one didn't start at all because of the incorrect LR battery. So as you can see, it doesn't start at all. Why? Because of the LR alkaline battery, right? Now inside there are some telltale signs whether it is fake or not, but this one appears to be a better quality. Otherwise you just see an aluminium or a copper tinned tab just across, but this somehow resembles the original. But this is not original based on other things. What you can check for is that this sound, as you can hear, shows that it is not of a good quality making. The machining is not very precise. Then this logo kind of cuts off in between. It is abrupt, and this black kind of graphic plastic comes all the way down to the edge, and you can already see that this retaining clip is a bit angled, showing poor marksmanship. Another thing to notice is on the back side, where this area the QR code is not very clear, the writing is different, and another way to make sure that whether it is original or not is to look at the machining mark right at the back. Let me loosen this up and let me show this to you. If I can push this, yeah, there you go. So I hope you can see in the light that the machining mark over here appears to be very crude, right? There's another way to tell, and which is the final way, is that the screw color over here are plain silver, whereas the original one that we will just see now is actually the color red, right? So this is the original one. It comes with that FerroBrite paper inside that is supposed to counter the corrosion. Now this is not open, and I have not opened it yet, but I did check it while I was there at the dealer's warehouse, and if you see, this one is on the fake one and this is on the original one. Completely different graphics, right? And this one shows that you have to first put in the battery, then close, and then press the origin button, otherwise it will not work, right? And if you see, Now I have not opened the plastic covering, but you can see the difference right away. The graphic on the counterfeit cuts off just before of this word absolute, whereas the graphic over here extends beyond the word absolute, and there is AOS and Digimatic and whatnot. So again, and like I said, the black plastic cover over here does not extend, and this tab, this retainer tab, is well angled, well placed, showing an excellent machining. And like I said, the screws, see those red color, bright red color, like the eyes of a tiger in the night. Let me open it for the first time on camera. Okay, there you go. So you just can't open it just like that. This plastic is also quite well made, and this paper, I'll keep this paper perhaps just to counter that corrosion. And now you can see it in all its glory. So you can see the plastic also is of a higher quality. I don't know whether you can see it on the camera, but the plastic over here is of a higher matte quality than this cheaper one, which is a bit shiny. And it has, this one has an indentation, and this one doesn't have an indentation. It is actually above, and you can see that, like I said, the original and the counterfeit is a little difficult to make out from the inner battery cell contacts, because it's a pretty good copy. But anyway, this button cover tab and this button cover tab are completely different, right? If you can see, and let me try and, oh, this comes off as well, very nice. Okay, it is already tightened. Okay, it will not go too much. Let's see. Oh, it has very little play, and if you can see, when I press this, there is no sound at all, there is no play at all. Only when I push it downwards there is a play, otherwise there is no play like this. Downwards as in sideways, which is not supposed to be, it is only supposed to go linear wise. So there is no play, it is quite tight. And you can see, oh, there is another difference, by the way. If you can see the machining mark over here, it has a chamfer and the shape is rounded, whereas in the fake one it is, you know, squarish. There is no chamfering at all, and it is not rounded as much. Okay, so let me try and put the battery right now. I don't want to lose this tab, so I'm not cutting it all the way through. I might keep it not just for nostalgia's sake, but just for reference in the future if I have to order a replacement. Let me see if I can coax the battery out differently. Okay, there you go. All right. Not very pleased with what I just did, but fine. something. Okay, will you come out now? Okay, I'll just probably stick a sellotape to put this blown off piece back on this later. Let's keep that away for now. And this is the original battery. Let me see if the camera can focus this. Yes. So it says, let me hold it straight way up. It says the name of the company, Sizaiken SR44 SH, and it says Japan. Now I don't have my glasses, I don't know what the text is just between the name Sizaiken and Japan, but anyway, that should be more than sufficient. Now let me put this in the original one, and yes, this is another test. The moment you put the battery in, it will not start, it will show this error, and you'll have to follow these steps, right? So let me put the tab back on. Yep, close it, and now that it is closed, when I press origin, okay, now we have the caliper started. It'll measure it accurately. Bad example of how to use a good caliper, but there you have it. Original. Switch it off, and then you can of course change from inches to millimeter. I don't like inches, I follow the metric, so I'll keep it in millimeters. And it also has a button for selecting the mode between 0 or from the, as in relative and absolute, kind of what you do with the weighing scale with the tare, right? So there you have it, the original caliper versus the duplicate caliper. So now the irony is that in spite of being an advocate for intellectual property, even I got duped, and it is not my fault that I got duped. And as a consumer, it is also not your fault. There are different ways to counter this. You can always approach the e-commerce platform or the seller directly to reimburse you the money. If they don't, then of course there is the option of going to the consumer court and pursue it further. So do get in touch with a competent advocate or a legal profession to get it done. Of course, I'll try to make another video on the entire process on how to initiate and start the consumer complaint process in detail. So watch out for that video. So now that you know that this is fake and this is the original, I hope you learned some of the ways how to identify and then take the correct steps. So like I said, this video is going to be short on how to differentiate between the original and the fake one. Hope you learned a lot from this, and for now that's all. See you in the next video. Till then, be secure, be legal, be safe.